I've been wanting to get a health tracker for a while now, and with all the different options out there between bands and rings, everything's got an annual subscription fee. I wasn't really too keen on spending a lot of money up front, plus paying subscription fees for something that I'm not even sure if I was going to be continuing to use. Okay, like Whoop itself is free, but you're paying an annual subscription fee to get that, and it's hundreds of dollars a year. So at the moment that you stop paying for that, you've basically got yourself a piece of decor. And Aura rings are expensive up front, and they have an annual subscription fee, which if you stop paying their subscription fee, you can still use the ring, but you've got very, very basic limited information that you can get out of it. So I kept putting it off. And then a few weeks ago, out of nowhere, the Google Fitbit Air came up on my TikTok feed. Well, apparently this thing has got a lot of functionality without actually needing to pay for a subscription fee. So I figured that this could be a good opportunity for me to get into the world of health tracking without financially overcommitting myself. Now, this thing's been sold out everywhere in my area, and even with a pre-order, I had to wait a week to get my hands on it because of stock delays, so I'm pretty keen to get into it. The unboxing experience is very straightforward. You pretty much just rip a tab and slide the box and you're greeted with the Fitbit Air right up. Right behind it is the charging cable and some docks, and the actual tracker and the charging puck are paper wrapped, and that's it really. Very basic. Anyways, I realized after putting it on that... Is this thing even on? I didn't know exactly how to power it on or if it'll magically turn itself on, but the S26 Ultra didn't detect anything, so I downloaded the Google Health app to check it out. And first I had to transfer my Fitbit account from like 10 years ago over to Google now, which took some time. To power it up, all I had to do was connect the Fitbit Air to the supplied charger, which has a nice magnetic snap. Then it started to vibrate, and yeah, I was able to pair it up to the app, and then it jumped into a software update right away. It's taking some time for the update.
One eternity later.
Once you're in the app, it guides you through fitment, changing bands, and proper use. But then you're thrown into the Google Health app, and I wasn't sure if it was ready to go or not. So I left my phone on the workbench and took a quick walk around my apartment to see if the band will count my steps, and it did. So now I knew it was syncing. Just taking a quick look at the app, you have all kinds of fitness tracking available. It can connect to and pull data from other health apps, which I didn't set up because I want to see just how much data it can populate through the Air alone. You've got dedicated fitness, sleep, and health tabs. I set up my sleep schedule, and I will be keeping a close eye on this because this was one of the main reasons for getting it, for me anyway. You can log your exercises, and you do have guided videos, but from what I saw, the videos are behind the premium subscription. And you can customize the key metrics that you want to see with the rest of your health tracking options. But yeah, that was my quick glance at the app. But look, I'll do a deeper dive into the app and all the features in my follow-up 1-month review. Okay, so as far as specs goes, it has Bluetooth 5.0, it's compatible with both Android and iOS, and it can sync up to 30 feet or 9 meters away from your phone. It's got a lithium polymer battery, and you supposedly get up to 7 days of battery time, but it does take 90 minutes to charge it, which is quite a long time if you ask me. But the good thing is that it does have quick charge to get you up to 1 day of battery life with a 5-minute charge, so that's a win. As for the sensors, you've got an optical heart rate monitor that apparently reads every 2 seconds. There's a 3-axis accelerometer and gyroscope, oxygen saturation sensors, a temperature sensor, and it's got a vibration motor that does vibrate when you're connecting and disconnecting the cable. And it might vibrate when you get notifications. I'm not too sure yet, but I'll let you guys know in the follow-up. It's water resistant up to 50 meters, and it weighs 12 grams or 0.03 pounds. The housing is made from recycled polycarbonate and PBT plastics. The band itself though is made from a fabric textile, and it's got a stainless steel loop buckle. Now the band itself is one size for wrists between 130 to 210 mil around your wrist, but the silicone bands have 2 sizes, a small one and a large one. And actually, with my pre-order, I was supposed to get the active silicone band too, but with stock shortages and delays, Harvey Norman here in Australia didn't get the shipments of the active band, so they're gonna call me when it's in. So I'll show you guys that band in the long-term review. Look, as far as first impressions go, I'm pretty impressed with just how much you can track and how much data you've got access to without a subscription. You do have the option to pay for premium for some advanced features and some coaching videos, but I'm gonna see how it goes with tracking things for a few weeks before I do subscribe. I like the fact that it's got the fabric straight away. That's probably one of the reasons why I bought it anyway. It's not burring down into my wrist, which is good. As in, from like a lifestyle angle, like the black color is pretty sweet. Like it, you know, it's the stitching on the inlay with the strap is like a charcoal gray. The sides are all black. The actual sensor itself, the Fitbit sensor itself, is black. Overall, like, yeah, whenever you've got it on your wrists and you're comparing it to, say, something like this, yeah, that's that's a chalk and cheese difference. Look, again, this is a watch, this is a health tracker, but still, if you wanted a smartwatch for the purposes of just tracking health, and you're not going to look at the time constantly, or, you know, you don't want to get distracted by notifications, this is a very good fit, very comfortable. Yeah. The overall design's very sleek. It's actually quite minimal, especially when you compare it to something like the CMF watch. It's way more subtle and it's lighter too. So I feel like it's going to be more comfortable to sleep with it on at night, but time will tell. Now, one of the things that I liked about the CMF Watch 3 Pro was the idea of the sleep tracking feature and other various monitors, but being a budget smartwatch, the sleep tracking wasn't very accurate for me at least. So I'm very keen to see how this will work with the Fitbit Air and how some of these other metrics will go as well. I actually really like that you can get it with a fabric band option, because when I got the CMF Watch 3 Pro, it had a silicone band only, and that irritated the psoriasis on my skin and my hands, and I had to order a fabric band for that one really quick. So this is another win, for me anyways. As far as the app goes, look, it was annoying to set up, but that's a one-time thing, I guess, so like whatever. Otherwise, it's pretty straightforward once you are in. It was very easy to sync the Air to the app, and actually before you get into the app, seeing a little animation on how you can change bands was a nice touch. It's not something that I've seen before with other products. But overall, navigating through the UI, it's very straightforward. Now, as usual, I'm going to wear this for the next month, and I'm going to do a proper long-term review on it. Now, I say a month, but from my understanding with health trackers, it can sometimes take a few weeks to populate all the data. And I just want to see how much use you can truly get out of it without paying for the sub, and then see how much use you will actually benefit from with paying the sub. Speaking of which, if you did enjoy the video, please drop a like and sub to the channel so you don't miss this and a lot more. Thanks for watching, guys. Oh, and this week is going to be a double drop, so make sure you tune back in on the weekend for the JBL Sound Gear Clips 1 month review. I'll see you then.